Hi, everybody. How are you? Let's hear it for all our comics and for Tracy, our wonderful host. It's just wonderful to be here tonight. My name is Ellen Orchid. Orchid is a stage name. My real name is Weinberg. So I'm very happy to be here in the hood, the sisterhood. You know, my grandmother used to call me a Shayna Madela, right? A darling girl or a dear girl, a term of endearment, and pinch my cheeks, you know. So instead of a nickname like Jennifer Lopez's J-Lo, I'm Shay May. Shayna Madela. And for tonight's occasion, I bought this dress by a Jewish designer, Oscar de la Yenta. It's just wonderful to be out of the house and having live comedy again. I see we're all wearing our masks. And I'll tell you, as annoying as it is to have to wear a mask, you do save a lot of money on makeup. And before pursuing the comedy life, I had a different profession. I was a psychiatrist. Went to medical school and the whole thing. How do you feel about that? Let it out, don't repress. We're here, we're sharing. This could be therapeutic. Anybody here in therapy? I sure as heck am. No hands, just me. Anyone in therapy but ashamed to admit it? Anyone hearing so many voices, you don't know what I just said. I work in Manhattan, and doing therapy in Manhattan is like selling Band-Aids at the Battle of Gettysburg. Very stressful, as you can imagine. Every day I go in and face incredible fear, sadness, rage. That's just the staff. It's a high burnout profession. We have anyone in the therapy field or a similar field? What do you do, sir?
I try to help students.
I'm sorry?
I try to help students.
You try to help students, right. Anybody else in the therapy, psychologist, bartender? Yeah. You get burnt out. You've heard of tennis elbow? I have shrink ear. Yeah. And the holidays are the worst, and the holidays are coming up. Every year I get stuck working on Christmas Eve in the psychiatric emergency room. That's the worst shift of all. Last year on Christmas Eve alone, I saw 12 hypochondriacs, 11 obsessive compulsives, 10 pyromaniacs, 9 alcoholics, 8 anorexics, 5 crack whores. Patient came up to me and he goes, Doc, you gotta help me. I'm invincible. I said, I can't see you now. This other patient was delusional. He goes, I am a prophet. I am a prophet. I said, I'm sorry, buddy, this is a not-for-profit. It's a tough business. Now, you know, I'm not making fun of mental illness. There's nothing funny about mental illness, which is why I go to comedy shows in my spare time, to cheer up. Mental illness is very common. 1 in 100 people has schizophrenia. And the other 99 of us, we're not doing that well either. We need better medications that work faster. We need things that help self-esteem. They should come up with a pill called Estima. And it should work instantly. It should be like this. Who bought these crappy clothes? Who bought that cheap rug? I'm married to you? I could do so much better. Yeah. I got interested in the therapy business by reading Freud. Anybody here read Freud? Anyone see the movie? There was a movie. This man was a genius. He discovered the subconscious. No one else was aware of it. That joke is going to hit you like a ton of bricks on the way home tonight. In Europe, they still honor this brilliant man. There's a Freud Airlines. Did you know? The plane has 2 sections, guilt and shame. And the seats go all the way back to childhood. And the planes are shaped like a penis. And the other planes ended them. You know that Freud's house in Vienna is a museum now. And when my kids were young, I brought them there. And we walked through this museum, and my daughter says to me, "What is this place? It's so boring." I said, "Honey, you don't understand. This is the home of the first psychiatrist." And she said, "Oh, so what number are you?" My mother is not thrilled that I'm doing comedy. She said, "Why do you want to get up in front of people and humiliate yourself? That's my job." She hates that I'm doing this, which is good enough for me. These are my people. You understand? You understand. I wanted my therapist to come today. She said, "Ellen, it's not appropriate for the therapist to enter the real world of the patient." I said, "Why not? You entered my real wallet."
That's good.
But I love helping people. And you know, for therapy to work, something called transference has to occur. Are you familiar with this? This is the transference of money from the patient's bank account. Let it out, don't repress. We're here, we're sharing. I try to keep my fees reasonable because people need help. If someone talks for an hour, $100. If I listen, $200. Yes. Things are opening up now, little by little, and we're getting our lives back and enjoying things. Do we have any fans here of the Broadway shows, Broadway theater? Anybody see anything good lately? No, not so. Well, they are opening up. I just love to go to Times Square and walk around and look at the theaters. You know, the Broadway tickets are still very expensive. So here's a tip. Don't go to the theater when you're tired. I once did, and I had a $200 nap. And a lot of the Broadway houses are being taken over by corporations. Did you know that there's an American Airlines theater now? Right? And this is a very cool theater. If the show is sold out, you can go standby. I always get a kick out of theaters. We go into the lobby, and there's a big sign. "Attention, this production contains loud noise, flashing lights, smoke effects." It's very touching of them to try to protect us. I just walked through Times Square. I'm fine. I remember a show a few years ago. I wonder if any of you saw this. It was called Titanic. They made a musical about the Titanic. I was fascinated. I couldn't imagine, how could you possibly write a musical about such a disaster? What kind of songs could you possibly do? Clang, clang, clang went the light bulb. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. Glug, glug, glug went my husband, 'cause he just couldn't swim too well. Or how about, "Do you see that iceberg?" It makes you wonder, what horrible thing are they going to make a musical about next? Melanoma, the musical. I had a mole, I had it removed, Mama. It wasn't benign, Papa. And 'cause it wasn't benign, the future's not fine. I don't have much time. Or how about eye diseases? Oh, see a thing. My eyes are blurred. Of glaucoma, I can't see a thing. Where did you go? Da, 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 da. Yeah. Today is, I'm celebrating the anniversary of my divorce. Yay! Freedom! Freedom! Any divorce folks here? Some of you are very happily married. What's the secret to a happy marriage? Just wondering. Actually, I'm really asking. That's okay. I'm grateful to be divorced. Our thing didn't happen to work out. I love the fact that you can get divorced. As they say in Star Wars, may divorce be with you. How about instead of the word divorce, which is kind of heavy, how about certified pre-owned? That puts a nicer spin on it, right? A little lighter. Every year I celebrate this anniversary, I do something special. I watch my wedding video backwards. Talk about therapeutic. This is a real undoing. First you see the bouquet flying back into my hand. We take the rings off. We look at each other and say, do I? Then I speed up the video. Run, Alan, run! There goes the bride. Yeah, I found marriage difficult. In our case, it started with a courtship, and that ship was headed right to court. It's not something to be taken lightly, right? It's a legal contract. For better or worse, richer or poorer, sickness or health. Tell me, folks, what contract would you sign where you agree to contradictory terms? I wanted better, richer, and health. I'm sure that's what I circled. Would you sign a contract for a job? You'll be the CEO or the janitor. Take a chance. We'll have 4 weeks vacation or 4 hours. Let's see. Yeah. So we got divorced, and my ex was kind of a mean guy. I'll give you an example. I would complain. I'd say, tell me I'm pretty once in a while. He'd say, okay, you're pretty once in a while. My birthday was coming up. He said, what do you want? I said, how about something with diamonds? He got me a deck of cards. I once wanted a fur coat. He got me a box of stuffed animals and a needle and thread. He made fun of my dreams of show business success. I say, I want to be in the movies. He said, well, if you leave now, you can catch the matinee. Right? So I got rid of him. I divorced him. And the funny thing is, after we got divorced, he wouldn't move out. My therapist said this is called passive aggressive. Right? He would not move out. 6 months after the divorce, he was still there. It was a new version of Newton's law of thermodynamics. A body on the couch tends to remain on the couch. Then I had a stroke of genius. I remembered he's allergic to cats. So I went out and adopted 2 cats. And I named them Get the and Hell Out. Every day I would feed them, Get the hell out! Get the hell out! He finally moved out. He got the idea. Yeah. We had 2 kids, so we raised 2 kids. Are there any parents here today? Give yourselves a round of applause, please. That is the hardest job in the world. Good for you. The hours are terrible. Those of you that are not parents, let me ask you something. What do you do for aggravation? Yeah, I have 2 millennials now, a daughter, 27, a son, 25. And I'll tell you, it's the hardest job in the world. And when they were small, it was so annoying when people would come up to me and say, enjoy them while they're young. It goes so fast. How many have heard that? And does it go fast? It went like a snail on Valium. It could not have gone any slower. I used to complain. My sister would say, Ellen, stop complaining. You blink and they're in college. I tried that. Nope, not true. She lied. She lied. And all the homework they get, being a single mom with all that homework, it's so stressful. Remember? We have parents here. Let me see where the parents. Do you remember helping the kids with the homework? I'm telling you, and they had so much homework. You'd have to be like a policeman and walk around, I don't see you studying. My daughter goes, I don't see you cleaning. They would take their books to school in these luggage carriers on wheels. They had so many books. They looked like little flight attendants. I would drop them off. I didn't know whether to say, have fun at school or have a nice flight. Every year we had to come up with another project for the science fair. My favorite was, what wine helps mom pass out faster? I enjoyed the research on this project. But you have to help them. I remember we had to do a report on Martin Luther King's speech, I Have a Dream. We got a B-. That was not our dream. My kids were in a school where they had to take Latin. That's just ridiculous, right? It's so impractical. If anything, Pig Latin would have been more useful. But why Latin? I mean, you know what I think of Latin? Gigantus vastus optimus. I mean, what are they going to get a job in the Holy Roman Empire? Are they going to do an internship for Julius Caesar? I was so upset. I went up to the school. I asked to see the principal. I said, we are in South Brooklyn. Give us something we can use. Russian. He said, yet. Yeah, I raised the kids in South Brooklyn. Are you familiar with Brighton Beach, that area? Yes. Fascinating area, big Russian culture. There's even a Russian mafia. Maybe you've heard of it. How does this work? Do they make you an offer you can't pronounce? Yeah, so it was hard raising the kids. Every night, my daughter was always on Facebook. My son was always on the Xbox. And I was always on Xanax. It gets lonely. You know, it really does. I have friends that did homeschooling. I couldn't understand this. How do you do homeschooling? What if you need a substitute teacher? Who's going to show up? The super? The doorman? What kind of classes do you give? Home economics. Today we're going to iron mommy's pants. Yeah. But the kids are grown now, and they're very busy with their own lives. And I'm trying to date again. Do we have any nice single men here? Any not so nice single men? Yeah, all the good ones are taken, and in my experience, all the bad ones are taken too. It's not easy. I try to date. I'm on all the dating sites, you know, J Don't, E Agony, Okay Stupid. It's very difficult. First of all, I see things on these dating profiles that just blow my mind. Like, why do so many guys have a profile picture with big sunglasses and a baseball cap pulled down way low? Are they in the witness protection program? You read these profiles. One guy wrote, for income, he wrote, "We'll tell you later." You know what that means? Broke. He's broke. And you know, there's a saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, I say if it is broke, don't date it. Yeah. Or you read these profiles, and some people write a whole Megillah about their life and their likes and dislikes, the music and books they like. One guy, all he wrote for his self-summary was 3 words. Jets, Mets, Nets. That was his entire profile. So I wrote back, Giants, Yankees, Knicks. We're engaged. Yeah, I've been going on dates. I went out on a date, there were so many red flags. I thought I was at the Chinese embassy. Yeah. I went out on one date, we had dinner, I thought it was going great. Even at the end, the guy says, look, you're too nice. You're not my type, you're too nice. So I shot him. Nicely. I answered the guy's personal ed. He said, so Ellen, what do you look like? Right away he goes to the looks. What do you look like? Are you a 10? I said, look, I'm exhausted. I might be a 5 twice a week. How about I'm a 7 and I'll owe you 3? I'm trying to broaden my horizons. Like, now I'm getting into guys with tattoos, because think about it. You know they can handle commitment and pain. And now they have friends with benefits. Well, that could work if it's dental. A good dental plan would be nice. Yeah. But it does get lonely. I mean, I go to the dentist just to hear a man say, open wide. I like to ride the subway, but now they have this announcement that says, a crowded subway car is no excuse for unwanted touching. What a killjoy. What about those of us that want a little unwanted touching? Just a little. Yeah. Let's see. You know, I sent my kids to City College because that was all I could afford. And just so that they would know what to expect, I wrote a little lullaby to prepare them. And it goes like this. Rock-a-bye, baby, on the way to City College. It'll be cheaper and you'll still get some knowledge. So you'll ride the one train, it was good enough for me. So rock-a-bye, baby, and forget MIT. As things open up, I think there are going to be some cruises opening up. I think they're already open, right? Anybody here a fan of cruising? What was your last cruise?
January 2020.
Oh, wonderful. And where did you go?
Grand Cayman and Cozumel.
Oh, doesn't that sound wonderful? Good for you. And you, where did you go?
We went to Eastern Caribbean, March 2020. And we were the last cruise to come back to Miami.
So you got in, right? You had your cruise right before lockdown. Good for you. How about a round of applause? I'm glad. I can't wait. I just can't wait to get back on a ship. I just love it. To me, a cruise is all about the food. It's just one long meal with naps, basically. For me, the ship doesn't even have to leave the dock. I eat myself silly on these things. I figure that's the vacation, you know? I come on as a passenger, I leave as freight. The last cruise I took back in 2017 was a Carnival cruise, and they had this feature called Behind the Magic. And they give you a tour of below deck where you see how the crew lives. Well, you know what that tour needed? Magic. You know, you really don't want to see behind the scenes on everything. Because these crew people, we went downstairs, they work very hard, very long hours, and there are all these motivational posters like, smile at your customer. So you see the workings behind the ship. I learned some things about the ship I didn't know. Did you know that there's a prison on a cruise ship? They call it the brig. We passed by the brig. There was an old guy in there, and he said, psst, psst. He said, get me a cheesecake with a file in it. Yeah. So, I also want to have a little bit of coffee. I happen to be a coffee-holic. Any coffee-holics here?
Yeah.
Let's hold hands and tremble together. I love this stuff. I can't get enough. I'm so glad it's legal. Legal stimulant. Thank you, God. What if it were a street drug? What would they call it? Bean? Brew? Drip? Perk? I'd be in a lot of trouble. People would talk about me. My comedy friends, they go, oh my God, that Ellen Orchid? She's whacked out on Bean, man. She's got a mug on her back. I was over at her apartment. There were used coffee filters all over the place. Colombians coming and going at all hours of the day and night. She was in the sack with Juan Valdez and his donkey. They'd probably try to do an intervention. At least I hope they would. I'd have to join CA, Coffeeholics Anonymous. What would that be like? Would we sit around drinking wine? You know you're really hooked on coffee when the other day I ran out of coffee filters. I don't know how I let this happen. I was so desperate to brew a pot. I went to my dresser and took out a pair of pantyhose. It works very well as a filter. I made myself a nice cracchiato and a frappuccino. Well, you have been a delightful audience. It's lovely to meet you all. Keep laughing, and thank you very much.